They shot this so-called guy yesterday they're calling a hero, right? So anyway, this is what you call it, distraction. Why is this? I'm explaining. So this ice storm that's happening right now, I remember I used to watch Celestial from Master's Boys before the Ruach revealed to me that she has a divination spirit and a religious spirit. And I remember how she said one time when Russia will be here, which they are, this is invasion, even though you have not realized it, that they're going to be taking out people in the cold and in the snow because they're used to the cold and we're not. So I don't know if you realize that in Texas right now, the power went off. And there's a huge population of Hispanic and Latinos in Mexico, of Mexican descent, and Latin descent in Texas, which happens to be Egypt. And also a huge concentration of Nazis there as well. And they have slave camps down there. So what the Ruach told me is that during the blackout, they're going to be going in the middle of the night, busting down doors and dragging out people and putting them into these camps. While you are here doing vigils to this guy who has ties to Israel because he is also a Jew. He's Jewish. And who runs the matrix? The Jews do. Just like that other lady, Renee, which means to rebirth, who also had connections to Israel. And they want you to go out there in the streets and protest for the injustice of killing this true American hero, where they're killing tons of our people and putting them into death camps and human trafficking. And also this ice storm that's coming, that's going to also come to New York City, because this is where I'm from, and it started already. They have the National Guards here, along with ICE agents are here as well. So this sounds like that they're going to, because I got a Con-Ed notice about that there might be a possibility of blackouts here as well. This sounds to me like a setup, like what Celestial said, that the power will go off and the Russians will come and drag out people in the middle of the night and in the cold, because they're used to the cold and we are not.
Told you that the entire Great Awakening was a psyop headed by controlled opposition figureheads designed to reveal any dissidents to the pro-government, pro-Israel movement of America. Be crazy. Anyway, have you ever heard of the Zephyr Plan?
Allegedly, David Goldberg was a researcher with a White House insider source, as well as intelligence officials. David was Jewish and Zionist and was horrified in 2019 after learning of Zionist plans through White House memos and other internal documents describing two projects, Project Pogo and Project Zephyr, a two-stage plan. For Pogo, they would utilize TTID, Tag, Track, and ID. They would use this for dissidents, nationalists, patriots, anyone who would pose a long-term threat. They used YouTube gatekeepers, like Alex Jones, to create a space for alternative thinkers. They were all agents paid to put out truthful information to tag, track, and identify the people who were watching and interacting, basically using alt media influencers as honeypots. They then created databases of Americans who were awake. Remember, Alex Jones, Andrew Tate, and Tucker Carlson all have CIA daddies. Their targets are anti-Zionists, anti-Semites, Christians discussing Synagogue of Satan, Muslims, any Goyim who won't conform, and anyone aware of and opposing Zionist world government plans. Project Zephyr, the second stage, the extermination. High-value targets will be taken out through kidnappings via a U.S.-based Israeli Defense Force, or ICE. The low-value targets would be taken out through viruses or other widely applicable means. At the time, they were working on COVID. Goldberg estimated the total number of dissidents to be around 15% of Americans, and that was in 2019. He also said that if there were too many dissidents, they would then conduct power outages and purge-style attacks to take people from their homes and place them into camps. He said that they might blame it on Iran, and false flags would probably take place to make the U.S. go to war with Iran in order to further Israel's Greater Israel Project. It discusses foot soldiers from the U.S. and nuclear weapons being used in Iran. The memos also said that Donald Trump had converted to Judaism in 2017 and joined the Chabad Lubavitch Synagogue in New York and had been meeting with high-level rabbis in which these plans were discussed. These plans said several times that he would have to declare himself King of Israel publicly to symbolically declare the start of the plans. Trump is not just a Jew, according to the memos, he's a Freemason, and allegedly has been promised high-ranking positions for his children in the government that they're forming, which will be headquartered in Jerusalem. David posted his findings on his YouTube channel. His channel was then scrubbed. David Goldberg died on June 8, 2019, in his Brooklyn apartment. He was found by his neighbor dead on the floor, with foam coming out of his mouth and no apparent cause of death. No cause of death has ever been publicly released. His friends claim that the police took a lot of his things, much more than they should have for the situation. All data about David Goldberg has been scrubbed from the internet.
Told you that the
Renee Good and Alex Pretty were both 37 years old. They both had adjectives as their last names. They both have positive sounding names. Makes a pretty good story, huh? Both of the addresses where they were shot add up to 13. Renee was at 3325 Portland Ave, and Alex was at 2614 Nicollet Ave. Alex and his parents both live in Colorado. Renee is also from Colorado. They were both shot between 9 and 10 a.m. Renee was shot near a street called Nicollet. Alex was shot on a street called Nicollet, right next to Good Grocer and also Good Dwelling. Her name was Renee Nicole Good, and this is on Nicollet Street. This is a sign that was behind where Alex Pretty was shot. Notice the upside down star? Well, there was also an upside down star right behind where Renee was shot. And this symbol also happens to be a Masonic symbol. This one right here, a star with a crescent moon and a pendant body of Freemasonry. This building was previously occupied by Smart Therapy Center. It was a fraudulent autism program, and there was a $14 million fraud scheme. This is the business that now occupies this building, New American Development Center, New America. This is almost like a statement that he was shot and killed in front of something that says New America. The sign was there when he got shot, but if you go to Google Earth now, the sign is gone. They were both shot just 2 miles away from each other. Renee was shot within 1 mile of the George Floyd incident. And Renee's family hired the same lawyer that Floyd's family hired. Alex's name was searched in Israel on December 14th, and his name was searched again on January 18th, just a few days before the incident. It says here Alex's birthday was 6/1/1988, and these numbers add up to 33. Renee had 3 kids whose ages add up to 33. Renee was shot on the 3300 block of Portland Avenue. There's an alleged witness who lives near 33rd in Portland, and they mentioned how the ICE officer that shot her needed 33 stitches due to another incident. Now on Google Earth, they've recently blurred out all of the houses around where Renee was shot. And I know it was recent because this is a screenshot that was taken just a few days ago. And notice how there's only 2 dates to choose from. But if you go right up the street, then there's multiple dates to choose from up to 2025. Anywhere else you go, there's multiple dates to choose from. So why are these houses now blurred out, and why is there only 2 dates? Now let's look at this picture real quick. Does this look normal to you? Where's this guy's head? This is a screenshot taken. Where is his head? And they said Alex had his phone in his hand. Does that look like a phone to you? What is that? What about this guy's weapon right here? Where's the rest of it? Does that look normal? Where's this guy's hands? Why can't we see any hands? And why would your hand even be in there? And what's going on down here with where this guy's foot is supposed to be? Why does it look like a camera or something? What is that? There's supposed to be a foot right there. Nothing about this looks normal. Now this is the guy that allegedly disarmed Alex Pretty. He doesn't say anything after he disarms him. The guy just runs off, silent. And does this look normal to you anyway? Explain to me what about this looks normal at all. Can he even see? And why is his, I guess, hood just like melted to his face? Like, what is that? This doesn't look normal in the slightest bit. Now let's look at this real quick. Watch this guy's hand, his left hand. Does that look normal? Can your hand do that? When you're reaching down for something, does your hand ever just bend backwards like that? Look at his fingers. That type of stuff doesn't happen. And this is one of the clearest videos I could find. And then notice how when you zoom in, it gets all pixelated. This is so that they can blame stuff like this on compression or whatever the fuck. The videos that you take with your phone do not do this when you zoom into them. Look at his fingers. That looks normal? You're gonna tell me that that looks entirely normal. And this is just one example that I'm showing. These glitches are everywhere in the videos. But because they've intentionally taken away your attention spans, you're no longer able to pay attention to details. You no longer have the patience to put pieces together and figure anything out. And does this even look normal? Why is the blue of his shirt on his neck right there? Why is the bottom of his ear right here see-through? Why is there red on the other ear coming off the flag? You know what? Sure, this was just for educational and entertainment purposes only. Oh, and I gotta give credit to my girlfriend Molly, who actually did most of the research that went into this.
February of this year,
Listen.
you rolled out a new phone app called CBP One, an app for a cell phone. I've got a picture of it behind me here. This phone app allows, and I'm going to quote from your own fact sheet, it allows, and I quote, non-citizens without appropriate documents for admission to schedule an appointment to come to the border. They can now go on their phone and schedule a time to come to the border and then be admitted. And you identified 7 separate border points of entry where they could come. 5 of them in Texas, 2 of them in California, 1 in Arizona. It's like a concierge service for illegal immigrants. My question is, you didn't think the border crisis was bad enough that now we're going to have an app that allows illegals to schedule their appointments and come and be admitted to this country?
This is
ICE is recruiting ex-IDF soldiers out of Tel Aviv. There's the information. I got it directly from the government website. This is not a screenshot from a social media post. So it is true. It is true. We have Israelis telling us how we should live. That bothers me, and it should bother you as well. Oh, also, side note, Israel was nice enough to give the Department of Homeland Security software they can use to spy on us. So they can literally see everything that we say and do. They can literally see everything we do. They hear everything we say. That's where we're at. America first, my fucking left nut.
Following white people. ICE is now following white people who they see carrying grocery bags in Minnesota because they think that they will lead them to the addresses of people who are here undocumented. So because of that, white people are now learning to not digitally write down addresses of people they are trying to help. Instead, they're doing everything by paper. They're writing everything down, and they're teaching each other that if they get caught by ICE with the addresses, they are to eat the paper. Let that sink in for a second. See good people out here trying to save people's lives by going to the grocery store for them, and now they are tracking them. You know how scared someone has to be to not want to go to the grocery store to feed themselves or their family members? You know how dangerous it must be for you to have to eat a piece of paper with an address on it to keep it out of the hands of our federal government?
So throughout the scriptures, Daddy has mentioned that he has sent the destroyer angels. So in this one in particular, this is the reading of Samuel 24. This is when he sent the destroyer angels to Jerusalem. You know that America is the true Holy Lands. And that's what they hear again. The destroyer, the shekel, is Russia and China. And Trump is in office because he's meant to be in office. He's the one that's helping to do this. So what's happening is that Daddy starts at his house first. So he's purging his people. So whatever does not bear fruit, he's getting rid of. And the ones that breaking covenant and the ones that keeping covenant, there will be a gathering of the fruit, which is the bride, right? The bride that made herself ready with her oil for the bridegroom. So there will be a gathering, and that's what's going to happen. After the gathering, that's when the man of sin comes into power. And that's when the AI system kicks off, the smart cities kick off. So everything that was done to his people the enemies of Joshua, because we return right back to these very nations. They get a double portion of the bitter cup, return right back to them. So what's looking like, oh, they're going after the Latino community or the Hispanic community, which is basically the rent nations. This is the purging of his people, because we are supposed to be an example to the world. So we're supposed to come back to the Creator and his laws, and not this matrix religions they gave to the world. We're supposed to get out of this matrix Abrahamic Hebrew Israelite religions. All the religions the fallen angels have given it to us while we were led into captivity.